Alright, we're going to do a little something different from our normal videos. We're actually going to be doing a vlog for Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, November 13th, 2019, Orlando, Florida. And we are heading up to Orlando right now. It's about an hour and a half, or hour and 20-minute drive. Before we go, we're going to make a pit stop at sponsor, Famous Faces and Funnies. I had Rick and the team put aside some Kevin Smith comics. I was under the impression we were going to have a meet and greet, but when I saw the extra for that, I was like, you know, I love Kevin Smith, but not that much. And as you can see, Famous Faces is huge, so make sure you go online, check them out, especially G.I. Joe fans for back issues. They have a lot. Now we're at Universal, Orlando, Hard Rock, which in my opinion, and I've been to a lot of Hard Rocks, this is the second best, besides the one in Hollywood, famous for Anna Nicole Smith dying, but there's a lot of cool shit in this one. So I did a separate video for that, just for Facebook friends and families, but man, I love seeing that stuff. Just makes you wish for the old rock and roll, not today's crap music that's on.
Oh my
today.
God, you guys are out here. Shouldn't you be inside? What's going on?
There were so many Jay and Silent Bobs. I just randomly walked up to these guys. If you have a Hard Rock theater by you, it is one of the best places for music.
Bizarro,
the
Jay and
acoustics
Silent
are
Bob.
phenomenal, unlike a lot of other venues. Definitely recommend catching a show at Hard Rock.
Your earballs with an audiobook at Audible.
Reboot your reading habits. Like she loves when they love her son. Oh, it's porn to her. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we get to hang out. This is a special show, and I'll tell you about it in a second. Well, first we're going to take care of business. So we don't get to go anywhere on tour unless, ladies and gentlemen, I've been with this movie every stop of the tour, of course, but I watch the movie with the audience, because as much as I love the movie, and I love the fucking movie, believe me, you guys make me love it more. It's a party fucking atmosphere every time we've done this, man. And we had off for like 2 days, and Mr. Jason, no!
Thank you. Fuck. Everything you just said, I was going to go out there and talk about the podcast and when we went out there the first time and how they fucking sold out. It was amazing. And I came all over the place. Yeah. And then he mentioned the whole story, so I don't have shit to say. Shit, I just said come and his mom's here, which is like my mom. And she's sorry, Grace.
Because she has no idea what that shit is.
Guys, seriously, thank you for being here. It's awesome, because it's like, for me, we go to these venues, and every once in a while, like, I'll go in the green room, like, I think we've been here, but as soon as we pulled up in the back, and we got in the, like, loading dock area, and the green room area and stuff, I was like, oh my gosh, this is where we were when we did our first podcast, Jay and Silent Bob Get Old. And everything he said, same thing. I was so stoked, because we were doing it at the Spot Castle, which is 40 people, and then all of a sudden,
Pops up in the movie, and the crowd like kind of goes nuts, and so I shot it, and I sent it to her, and I was like, look at this, they fucking remember you. And she was like, fuck you. But my favorite one, hands down, is like, for whatever reason, for good reason, particularly where it happens in the movie and stuff, and because he has a long storied career, and because he was the Cape Crusader. Spoilers, Ben Affleck's in the movie. When he pops up, like the crowd goes kind of nuts and shit. They're like, ah, shit. So I saw that in New Jersey. So I shot it in Chicago.
I love it. Thank you guys. I love the standing O. It gets me Popeye! Thank you.
You guys were, I mean, look, as I said before, I could go sit through every one of the shows. He plays Fortnite the whole time.
No, I don't. Yes.
But,
Yes, sir. Follow me on Twitch. JMU,
So I was present for the entire screening, and no bullshit, you guys were the biggest and loudest fucking crowd we had.
I do have to say, I was in the beginning, I was back there in the very beginning when I say, I'm Jay and this is my head roller, song Bob, and you guys all cheered and I got a little bit of the feels, as the kids call it. I did, I haven't got that in the whole trip except for the first one, but yes, it was amazing, guys.
That was awesome. If you were Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Dogma as well. So I felt like, oh shit, like that would have been the movie to die on and stuff. So when I was sitting there realizing that, I said to the doc, you have to fucking save me, man. I have to make Jay and Silent Bob reboot. And he goes, there are way better reasons to save your life.
And then I came in and I said, this is the dick you have to suck to stay alive. And he went to town and here he is.
It revived my broken heart. So it was pretty fucking amazing, man. At that point, I was like, fuck it, we're gonna make this movie. We were trying to make it, but now it's gonna mean so much more. Now it's gonna have this like layer on top of this lacquer that's desperate. That's all about my fucking open heart and shit like that. Like, this movie has to stand for everything I ever thought and felt in case I do die. Like, I don't want to be on the table again going, oh shit, man, I'm not done yet and stuff. So I look at this movie, I'm like, this covers everything. Now I'm waiting to die, but I'm not fucking dead yet and shit. So the weird thing is you have to put that same level of enthusiasm into everything just in case that's the last project you do. And right now I'm working on He-Man and Masters of the Universe.
Drawing with markers and stuff. So we went home, we busted them out for drawing and stuff. And she always draws these little princesses, like a circle, long hair and a dress and feet and stick arms and stuff. And I drew a mermaid and she's like, how did you learn to draw a mermaid? I can't draw that. And I was like, I'll show you. But then I drew a boy with a little baseball.
So we saw that, we stopped at Famous Faces and Funnies and picked up a couple of Kevin Smith's books. Thinking that we were going to be part of a meet and greet, but when we saw that you had to pay like $200 extra, I mean, I love Kevin Smith, but I don't like him that much to pay that much extra. So whatever, we're going to use this opportunity to cover some of Kevin Smith's books. And we picked out two, Cacophony and The Wyden Gyre. And in both cases, Kevin brings along his childhood buddy, Walt Flanagan. And before I start anything, I'm a huge fan of comic book men. And after 7 seasons, the show finally was canceled in 2018. Often in the background, we would see Walt doodling around in his sketchbook. And he's not a artist by trade. You know, he's a comic book clerk. But he does this for fun. And it shows because, you know, Walt is a better comic book artist than I will ever be. But compared to 95% of the professional artists, and I hate to say it, but he's not very good. I mean, and I'll do comparisons. I pulled out Jim Aparo and Mike DiCarlo's iconic. I mean, to me, those guys did the iconic Batman drawings, rendering of Batman. So I'm going to compare theirs to Walt's, and you're going to see like there's a huge drop off in that. I don't want this to be an anti-Walt type bashing, but the fact is this is just his friendship with Kevin Smith paying off. He's a, good artist, but he's not a professional by any stretch of the imagination. And you could see that, like, look at this one on the right, compared to the one on the left. And then, I have this one as well. You could see, like, his lines, and it's just like, and then the nose, it's just not really, it's tough to stomach. But that's enough with the art. Now, the writing in Kevin Smith's, here we go again. It's like he tries too hard. And the dialogue in it doesn't flow sometimes he tries to show off his knowledge and brings up, Batman stuff from the Batman lore that, oh, I know this, that in 1970, this happened to Batman. It's like, all right, great. And then here we go with this. It's like he's combining gore, horror, and Batman. And while Batman is dark, there's a level that Batman has that he doesn't cross over in the normal Batman run. And, I know there's the one with the Joker ripping his face off, and I think it's just a little too much, and it's trying too. Look, the teeth on this is atrocious. But again, it's just that it just doesn't feel like a Batman. I mean, it's just difficult to read. That's basically what I'm trying to say. And the artwork is difficult to absorb in, and it's very amateurish. Let's put it that way. And I have total respect for Kevin Smith, and I love comic book men, so I don't want to hate on this totally. It is a effort, and it's out there, and it's just a payoff for being Kevin Smith or associated with Kevin Smith. Oh, the Robin in this is pretty damn bad as well. Look at that. Ugh. I also picked up some issues of his Daredevil, but Walt wasn't drawing for that. I guess there was a lot of feedback from or conditions that Kevin had to do the Daredevil issues, and I think not bringing Walt was one of them. But I'm not going to even bother with those issues. I'll just show them, and it's up to you if you want to pick them up. I mean, I wouldn't advise picking these issues up. I just think that they're not good at all. But if you're curious and if you're a Kevin Smith fan, yeah, whatever. They're not expensive. I think this was like $3. Most of these books are like $3-4, so it's not like it's gonna break the bank.